Mr. Melvin Yong.
I'd like to declare my interest as the Executive Secretary of the National Transport Workers Union. My members include public rail workers and public bus workers. I stand in support of the bill which seeks to enable the Transport Safety Investigation Bureau, TSIB, to conduct independent safety investigations into transport incidents across the air, land and sea domains. However, I do have some questions for the Minister. The TSI bill is a new omnibus bill that will centralize the conduct of transport safety investigations by the TSIB. I'd like to ask what the rationale was when deciding to centralize the safety investigations of all air, land and sea transport modes into one investigation body. What key advantages would such centralization provide? And has the Ministry studied examples of what have been done overseas? Australia, for example, has a similar Transport Safety Bureau that only covers the aviation, marine and rail sectors. As they do not cover bus accidents, I'm curious as to why the TSI bill has catered specific provisions for investigations into public bus accidents. Is there certain specialist knowledge required to investigate public bus accidents as compared to a normal vehicular accident on our roads? Mr. Deputy Speaker, as the new TSIB would have enhanced powers to investigate rail and bus accidents, it comes across as odd that certain segments of the land transport sector are not covered under its ambit. For example, the bill limits the TSIB role to investigating only incidents involving buses that are operating under the LTA's public bus service contracts. Why not extend the powers to cover all types of bus incidents? With so much innovation disrupting the land transport sector currently, should not the TSIB have the powers to step in and investigate major incidents on our public roads that are beyond the public bus contracts? On that note, new and emerging forms of land transport also do not seem to have been covered under the bill. Autonomous buses and shuttles are soon to be deployed in Punggol, Tengah, and the Jurong Innovation District in 2022. And the TSIB should also be empowered to investigate any incidents involving such autonomous public transport, should they happen, and an unfortunate accident should happen in Singapore. Mr. Deputy Speaker, the bill also covers investigation into incidents involving military and police vehicles. Clause 16, subsection 3, states that subsection 2, which covers exempt vehicles, does not prevent an investigation of a transport occurrence that involves a Singapore military ship or a Singapore military aircraft if an appropriate authority in the Singapore Armed Forces requests the Director or TSIB to conduct an investigation into the matter. It is my understanding that military and police vehicles are exempt because otherwise the personnel involved would have to give testimony that may cover national security matters. Hence, I would like to ask the Minister, under what circumstances would the Air Force or Navy request the TSIB to investigate an incident involving a military aircraft or military vessel? If a request is indeed made for the TSIB to investigate, some protocol should be put in place to address and safeguard security information relating to the incident or relating to the assets. What about incidents involving police vehicles or those used by our border control or civil defense departments? The bill clearly exempts such vessels from investigation by the TSIB. Would a similar provision therefore be made for these agencies to request the TSIB to investigate? Mr. Deputy Speaker, an investigator's skills are like a muscle that needs to be constantly exercised in order to remain at its peak. With the move to expand the TSIB's scope into the rail and bus sectors, how does the TSIB intend to build its capabilities in investigating such areas? In addition, how does the ministry plan to keep the skills of their investigators sharp? Perhaps the ministry could also shed light into how many investigations the TSIB typically conducts in a year, and the estimated number of incidents the TSIB would be expected to investigate annually in the future. Mr. Deputy Speaker, the first 24 hours of any major incident is crucial for an investigator to gather and to preserve important pieces of evidence. It is therefore necessary that our transport investigators are well trained and have the mandate to be flexible enough to investigate all possible modes of transport across the air, land, and sea sectors. My concern is with the deep specialization of these specialist investigators and how to upkeep the currency of their knowledge and their skill sets. Like Ms. Sylvia Lim, who spoke earlier, I hope that the TSIB will one day be a highly regarded transport safety investigation agency that we can all be proud of. With that, Mr. Speaker, with that, Mr. Deputy Speaker, I support the bill.